Hi, YouTube. How's it going? What are you doing? How was your day today? Today I worked from home. I did some research. I chatted with my boss over Microsoft Teams, did some more research, did some writing, and then, yeah, I exercised at lunchtime. And then my husband came home and we hung out and chatted for a little bit. And I had a quick dinner, and now I'm here. So, did you have a good day today? I'd love to hear. Oh my goodness, there are so many friends here already. Hi, Lori. Lori will be mostly lurking. Thank you for watching, Lori. That's awesome. Hi, Marie. PH actress, hello. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Woo. So many people. Hi, Monica. Hello. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for joining. Oh, so fun that there's friends here. Thank you for coming. Today, I'm excited to watch part of a, how recent is this? A video 4 days ago from John Melton's channel. He is a famous MLM coach that we have covered several times before. And I don't want this view. He is interviewing our bestie, Ray Higdon, and I'm really excited. I feel like I haven't done a Ray Higdon video in a little while, and so can't wait. We're going to do approximately 19 minutes of this video because if I do the whole 37 minutes, we'll be here for like 2.5 hours, and I can't handle a 2.5 hour stream. I can't do it. So we're going to do 19 minutes and then the remaining we'll do on Sunday. Hi, DC. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. Hi, Sina. Marie, I've mostly slept today. I'm glad you had some rest. I hope you had a good sleep. Hello, Elaine. A past coworker came to visit our office for lunch. We were all laughing hysterically. That's awesome. That sounds so fun. Had to get the kitchen faucet replaced today, so I've been looking forward to this stream. Oh, that's so nice, Demi. Thank you for joining. Yes, I love it. I love the interaction between the two famous MLM coaches. It's super interesting. Yeah, I'm not used to huge glasses. He looks like me right now. Hi, Clown Town. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it so much. It's so nice to see you here. Yes, same here. Cringe vibes for sure. So cool that we have so many friends here. This is awesome. So I don't know how loud I'll need it, but I'm ready to go if you guys are. And I can't wait. I hope you guys like the part 1 of this video.
Our team is the best. I'm gonna have my other phone up too so I can see comments. What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with another episode of Money Monday. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I'm so excited to have the man, the myth, the legend. And, I say that every time I introduce Ray because he really is a living legend. How many of us have gotten some value from Mr. Ray Higdon? How many of you have learned a little something over the years?
I've gotten value from Ray Higdon because I think I've done some fantastic videos on my channel, getting for my little channel a good amount of views. And so yes, I've gotten value because Ray, you've brought viewers to my little baby channel here. So thanks, sir. Hi, Avery. It's so nice to see you. Ray is wearing real prescription glasses. They make him look different. Totally. Yeah. I think he looks nice. I think these kinds of glasses suit him, and it would definitely not suit everyone. Yes. It's only been 30 seconds, and I've already paused it.
Smash that hard button. And for those of you that don't know, well, now you're going to learn today. We actually came across Ray Higdon basically 10 years ago when we were broke, busted, and disgusted.
He came across Ray 10 years ago when he was broke, busted, and disgusted. He's going to say they were working from 8 to faint and that they were wearing golden handcuffs. I can't believe I remembered all of his awkward cliches. So let's let him finish his thought and then I'll provide commentary.
So sick and tired of doing the old school thing. We were making money. So I guess we weren't broke, but we were time broke. We were working 8 to faint. We were doing home meetings every single night, stressed out. And we just were like, there's got to be a better way to build this business because we had the golden handcuffs. Can anyone else relate to this? And we found
so they were making money, but they didn't have any time freedom, and they were doing old-fashioned tactics. Oh my God, I can't remember. Did he already say they were doing parties every single night? And they had golden handcuffs. Like, they were making money, but they were not happy. They were not happy because they didn't have any time freedom. So it shows that in some of these companies, this was a while ago, but in some of these companies, even now, MLM distributors at the very top of the pyramid, like, not all of them will have time freedom. Some of them will. Some of them will if you have like the entire downline, the entire company in your downline. But the majority of MLM distributors don't have actual time freedom. Yes, entertainment value has made my blood pressure go up. Does that count? A version of Zach Bagans in those glasses. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, Elaine. Someone has said that previously. Who was that? Was that Gary or Lisa? One of you guys said that John looks like Max Headroom from the 90s. That's so funny. I think like John's like a handsome man for sure. And I looked at like Max Headroom and I think they definitely look alike. Ray Higgins is divorced, foreclosure, lost his best friend, $1 million in debt, sleeping on his girlfriend's couch, didn't graduate high school on time. Yes, he really said them. What do you mean? He really said them? Oh, Lord. Like the quiet part out loud. Is that what you mean? Ghost Adventures? I don't know who that is. Okay, let's keep going.
Ourselves in a situation where we were just like, I really just want to make money from home. And we found people like Ray and his wife, Jessica. And we were like, wow, like I like what they're talking about. I like what they're teaching. I like how they're generating leads. And I remember the first time I think I talked to you, Ray, you probably don't remember this because you talked to so many people. But I remember being like, what does that mean? Like you generate leads? Like I literally, when you would talk about the list, I'm like, what does that mean? I don't understand this language, but I want leads. I'm sick and tired of cold calling people and 3-foot ruling it. Anybody with a freaking pulse, right? Talk to them. So you've been such a blessing in our life. And I know you've impacted this profession more than just about anyone. And I remember we went to your event.
So he was saying that he didn't know what leads were because he was just prospecting everyone. I don't know if he said within like a 30-foot radius or a 3-foot radius. Someone on my channel who's been in Amway previously said there's like the 3-foot rule. So anyone within 3 feet of you, you are supposed to prospect them. And I guess 10 years ago, John didn't know what what leads were. So he was just like anyone who was nearby, anyone who had a pulse, he was trying to get into his team. But that's MLM now. Like there are no requirements for people to be in an MLM. Honestly, if you are the legal adult age and you have a social security number, then it doesn't matter who you are. You just need a heart rate. Literally, you just need a heart rate and you need the money to join. There are no qualifications or like certifications one needs to join an MLM. It's really funny because Raymond will say it's a great thing that there's such a low barrier to entry, but then he also says it's a bad thing because then anyone can join and there are no like restrictions on who can try to sell the products. He really said the phrases that that you mentioned word to word. They must feel like a broken record. Yeah, I was listening to it often today in preparation, but definitely I'm surprised I remembered them all. Oh yeah, and a credit card. Avery's right. All you need is a pulse and a credit card.
Top Earner Academy.
Top Earner Academy. Yeah,
yes.
You got it.
And it was me, Nadia, my buddy Brett, my buddy Ben, and Bob Heilig. And we sat in the very back and we were like, I think this is way better than what we've been doing. So we joined your mastermind. And actually, to be clear, we started following you 10 years ago, but we didn't actually go to one of your events until a couple years later, regretfully.
That was 2015.
Yes. 2015 is when we went to that event, joined your mastermind, and our life has never been the same. And some of those principles and some of the things you taught way back when, I still teach today. So thank you in our life. And I love giving you this testimonial as well. We went from multiple 6 figures a year to multiple 6 figures a month. And go figure, it was shortly after.
Oh man, my connection is bad when I put up my closed captioning. Oh, Okay, it's so interesting to me. So he's touting that Ray helped him go from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month, and that him and Bob Heilig, another famous MLM trainer, were at their event. And they're like, oh my God, Ray does it better than us. It's interesting. Why would what would another MLM coach stand to gain from having this kind of testimonial about Ray? Because John also has his own paid membership, just like they all do. And like by him saying, Ray helped me get to 6 figures a month, like could someone who's in John's training go over to Ray's training? It seems weird that like they're just like cross promoting each other. I understand the idea of wanting to like network with people in a similar field, but just like in MLM, like John and Ray are both competing for the same people, and there are limited people in MLMs. Even though there's millions and millions, there's limited people, and lots of people are already in other paid training companies. So why would you like cross promote? Yes, they believe in their own BS. Hello, Erica. Uh-oh, here we go. I can't stand Ray Ray, but I'm prepared. Hi, Erica. Thank you for being here. He does seem thrilled, right? Oh, hi, Sam. It's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining. So cool. Okay. They're cross-recruiting people to other coaches? Maybe. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because it would be like Jesse Lee Ward from Prove It talking about how like brilliant the top body coaches. What Natasha Pearson, right? I was just watching a Clown Town video of I think it was Natasha Pearson. Yeah, like why would one top leader promote the services of another top leader, right? Doesn't make sense. We will hear some religious manipulation in a little bit for sure.
And started learning from
awesome.
you. So we appreciate all you do and excited to talk to everybody, right?
Yes, Erica, this is 4 days ago. So it is, let's just scroll down to confirm. Yes, only 4 days ago. So brand new, brand new. Let's move this here. I want these on, but I don't want them in their faces too bad.
Right now we're live in about 6 or 7 different places. So make sure you all check in, say where you're coming in from. And if you love Ray, let him know. But Ray, I'm excited about that, bro. I'm excited about going on.
Yeah, for sure. And think about it. It all started with an event, right?
Yeah.
Like you coming to that event, that's what led to, a breakthrough.
This is
for
nitpicky,
you.
but just, I should have brought this up before. Just compare how John, the man on the left, listens and interacts with Ray when he's speaking to how Ray interacts with John, because Ray was like, yeah, and I feel like he might have gotten that from like an active listening course to show like he's really engaged and like present in what John was saying. But when you listen to John, like when you watch John, sorry, like he's not like interjecting with words very often. He is just like having like an expressive face and like nodding, and his eyes are going up, and he's like has like a nice smile when he's thinking about something Ray said, and he's just like interacting with Ray in a really present manner, but he's not like interrupting Ray's flow by constantly being like Does that make sense? I know that was really like nitpicky, but it's just something I noticed. Their definition of like active listening, in my opinion, is really different. Oh, goody, Erica says. Natasha Pearson and Jess Dukes work pretty closely together, but I think one is it's the other's upline, so I kind of get that because they have something to gain. Exactly. I don't like Ray Ray. I'll watch until he really winds me up. Fair. Thank you so much for hanging out, Sam, and just jump out anytime you need to. He does. Yeah. And like, I like John's personality. I think he's really personable. He's charismatic. He seems nice. I wish he was doing something else. Just like with Fraser Brooks, I think I definitely have a real soft spot for Fraser just because of his personality and because he's obviously incredibly intelligent. So I think there are a few of these MLM coaches that could really succeed in other professions that require like being like the face of something, like public speaking, or like, I don't know, like an actual influencer, right? he's always just, yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point, Ray. You're not Ray. Good point, Erica. What is the age of these men? Okay. Pause. John Melton birthday? John Melton birthday. John Melton MLM. I don't know. Maybe John Melton age. Does anyone know? Does anyone know how to find this? Because I typed in John Melton age and it was like, brings me to 16, a guy who died in 1640. He was an English merchant. I'm guessing mid 40s. I'm guessing mid 40s. What do you think? I think mid 40s probably for John. He does have charisma. He does for sure. John, yes, they are. They're going to talk about that. So interesting, right? John, yes. Ray's going to talk about that later. Yes. I don't know if it's in the first part though. Yes. John seems so smart and he seems to have a good personality. I would like him in real life. I wish he was doing something else for sure. Oh, and hello, Don. Thank you so much for joining.
Obviously, you guys have been running amazingly for years and years and years. So, a lot of times I'm, helping with a pivot, a little shift, and then people go and run with it and, become absolute rock stars. So it's just a testament to you for doing the work and keep showing up. That's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been life-changing. And it's cool too, because obviously at this point, people have learned so much from you guys and have, like you said, gone on to be top earners and really impacted the whole profession, not just like their individual team, their individual business. I think that's amazing. So can you talk a little bit about like, because obviously you coach a lot of people in different companies.
Elaine, I honestly can't tell. I can judge John's age. I feel like John is like mid 40s. I have no idea how old Ray would be. I have no idea. I also suck at judging age. So I feel you. Raymathy! Raymond! I called him Raymond in one of my videos. And someone was like, why are you calling him Rayman? Because they thought I was calling him Rayman. I'm like, no, I was just saying Raymond. And so he was saying that Ray often just like helps someone tweak their approach a little bit or readjust, and then they go and run with it, and then they become rock stars, like Ray says. And it's interesting, like on all of the testimonial pages of these MLM coaches, they always seem to take full credit for the success of their individuals in their coaching business. But honestly, like, the individual has to have like the discipline and the intelligence to take Ray's teachings and then go apply it to their own business and actually find success. So it's not just on Ray that John and Nadia apparently found massive success in their MLM. And thank you for joining, Melissa. I appreciate it so much.
Companies, you have that unique perspective that many of us don't, because we're only building our company. What are you right now looking for fast and sustainable growth? Would love to talk about that.
Yeah, so there's one element that I'll talk about as far as fast growth. But I think,
sir, he said fast and sustainable growth. So not just fast growth, but of course you can't have sustainable growth in an MLM, because you could grow fast, but then you could drop. Your growth could drop off and you're going to lose all your money.
One of the absolute key things is you have to lead yourself despite what everyone else is saying, despite what the DSA is saying, despite what numbers are even saying. Like, you have to do the work whether anyone's doing it or not. And a lot of people, like I heard the other day, I heard two reps and they were talking, they said, hey, did you see that the DSA said we didn't grow last year? And I'm just like, what are y'all trying to prove? Like what exactly are you digging into here? And because, you need to not pay attention to that. Like, if I paid attention to all the media, I'd be very depressed. I'd be very negative. I'd be hopeless, because, and I think sometimes that's where the media wants you. And so you got to
So if you're a real leader, you have to be able to grow your business despite the numbers, despite what the news is saying about your MLM, despite the fact that the DSA says your company is not growing. Because if Ray were to pay attention to the news, then he would become depressed and not want to grow his business. And so it's interesting that for us to be a good leader in this industry, we have to ignore outside criticism of it. I've never had that kind of requirement in a job before where I was to ignore criticism. And in my mind, I'm thinking of constructive criticism where, like, say you don't do part of your job properly and your boss comes to you and is like, hey, you didn't do this, this, and this properly. Next time, let's do this, right? And then you learn and you improve going forward. I don't think I've ever had the mindset where you just ignore criticism completely and you don't take it as like a way to improve and learn and grow in your job. So that's just interesting. We just need to be in an echo chamber around people who just believe the exact same things we do and who don't have any varying opinions on the MLM. And yeah, Erica said, don't believe the numbers ever, not from the FTC, not the DSA, not Google, not your mother. Yeah, because they're all out to get us and they all want us to be depressed. Hi, Jenny. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Oh, he's 46 years old. Okay. I thought 52 at least for Ray. My bad. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I feel like I can tell John, but I can't tell Ray for some reason. What the fuck? My dad is older than Ray. That's funny. My dad's way older than Ray. Ray has a punchable face.
You gotta ask yourself, what can I do? All right, what can I do, whether I feel like it or not, whether everyone else is doing it or not, and am I doing that, right? And that's a very basic, conversation. But if you want fast growth, it's going to come down to one thing, and I can tie this to every major growth in my life, and that is faith. And I don't necessarily mean faith like in God, just to be clear, because I was taking leaps of faith, before I understood God, before I came to God, which was 8 or 9 months ago. So what does that mean? What is faith? Faith isn't. Faith is a way of being, and it's a way of showing up. When I left, and I'm sure you've had this, I guarantee it, because no one that is at any level has grown without some type of leap of faith. And so, like, when I left my last job, which was 18 years ago, I think, 18 years ago, no one thought that was a good idea. And honestly, it really wasn't a good idea, because I didn't have a pillow. I didn't have a bunch of money saved up. I didn't have a lot of things that people, would think that you would need. I didn't have a rock solid plan. I just had faith that, you know what, life can be better than what it is. And faith.
I don't disagree, but I disagree with it in the context of MLM, of course. Let me look for some comments and then I'll say my piece. Oh, you're older than Ray. I just turned 53 and you stopped using nicotine. Congratulations, Elaine. That's amazing. People mistake my mom for my sister. She was born in 75. Oh, that's funny. I'm way older than Ray. I don't know. Maybe. It's not live. This was 4 days ago, but maybe he went live from the church. Maybe, yeah. The ceiling looks like a church building. Interesting. Yeah. Religious manipulation. Elaine, congrats. Gus is going through that right now. Aw, poor Gus. Yeah, so he's not wrong. His definition of faith, not necessarily God, because he found God 8 or 9 months ago, but it's that, like, you have to take a leap of faith in order to grow in life. And I think we take leaps of faith, not every day, but frequently. I'm thinking, like, by dating, I think dating is a big leap of faith, because you don't actually know the person truly that you're going out for dinner with, say. I think moving to a new city where you don't know anyone is a leap of faith. Changing your career, right? Going back to school, moving to a new country, even. I think for me in my life, I have grown a lot by taking calculated risks and doing something that I'm not fully comfortable with, but that I know will improve my quality of life down the road. But in the MLM context, it's I'm going to take this leap of faith, even though no one thinks that this is a good business move for me, even though I did my own research and I saw that it's really hard to make a living in MLM and that a lot of people think MLM is a scam. Even though my spouse is worried about me, I'm just going to take this leap of faith because that's the only way I can grow. I think a lot of the things that MLM coaches say sometimes on the broader level apply to day-to-day life. They do, because we take leaps of faith all the time. But in the MLM context, like DC says, DC's here, it's twisty. It's twisty. That was rambly, but I hope that made sense. Looks like a church commercial building, and because of his self-proclaimed prophethood, it's just interesting to see the ceiling. Oh. Ray's just a year older than me. I already knew that, but I always suppress the information. He looks good. He looks good for his age, for sure. Chantix helped, but damn, I need to suck on something like my thumb. Aww. Oh my gosh, Elaine, do you have a llama in your picture? I just noticed that. I love llamas. When I was 18, I saw a pack of llamas running towards me, and since then, I've loved llamas. Yes, all love and strength to Elaine and Gus, for sure. Yes, Gus, you got this. You got this, Gus. Okay, let's keep going.
Faith is in hopes unseen. Faith is not reliant on your eyeballs, your bank account, your circumstances, but you move in a way that says things can be better. Things can improve.
Yes. Aw, yay, it's getting better, Gus. That's amazing. Yes, llama gang. Seriously, my mother for Christmas and birthdays, she always gets me llama stuff, like llama pajamas, llama shirts, llama notebooks, just a llama, cute little llama. Oh, my sister-in-law, I think it was for my birthday or Christmas, she got me a little llama ring holder to put my wedding band and engagement ring on. I love me a llama. Llamas are so cute. So cute.
And if you have that, faith element of God, like I believe that God can improve any circumstance. I believe he can overcome anything. I believe he's got a miracles. And I've seen it over and over and over just in these last, 8 or 9 months. But it's going to have to be, if you want to grow fast, it is not dinking and dunking and doing your daily routine every day, although most people don't do that. Let's be honest, right? So you think that that's the answer. That's not the answer to fast growth. That is the answer that you will grow. If you do, the daily minimums or whatever, you'll grow. But you'll most likely come upon a point where you're knocked out of the game, either through health or the health of a family member, or you'll be upset about a comp plan change, or you'll be upset about something else like the spouse or something. But if you're making leaps of faith, if you're moving in a way that says, I'm not so sure about this, and you move in that direction, and all of a sudden you'll find that you're provided for. You'll find that you'll land in a much bigger place. And if you look at all of your major growth,
Ray has told us before to believe that our future is our past, is our present. Sorry. So say our comp plan just changed and we're worried about making money. Say our dam line just left and our income is slashed. We are supposed to just believe that God's going to provide for us. We're supposed to believe that everything will come together in the end. So we are just looking at what we want our future to be. So in 5 years in my MLM, I want to make $100,000 a year. Sorry. I want to pay off my mortgage and I want to start to pay off my student loans, right? Just work your business, live your life like those things have already come true, despite the fact that your comp plan just changed and you're now making significantly less money. I don't like it. Yeah, faith is fine, but numbers also matter. And again, in real life, it's good to believe you can do something that you're scared about. Like, I started a new job in October that I was worried about because it was an industry, a field that I was not used to. And I had major what's the word? Imposter syndrome. I was like, I'm worried about like succeeding. However, every time I have done anything new, I have the exact same feelings. Like every new job I've ever done, and like moving away for school and then moving here, like from where I was for school to where I am now, I had the exact same feeling. I had the imposter syndrome, but imposter syndrome is just what I have to go through before I feel comfortable in a new setting. I don't remember what my point is. Okay, imposter syndrome and just feeling nervous about something new is not the same as ignoring the red flags of your MLM business and forgetting about the fact that you're not making any money. Does that make sense? I'm so rambly and there's so many comments. Look at all these people. So cool. I believe faith and belief are two different things. Love that, Megan. So nice to see you. Yes, Clowntown, convince yourself. He's talking out of his ass. So, yes. Believe that your future is your present. Work like your future is your present. And then you will succeed and you will make all your money. Exactly. Hi, Nomi. How's it going? Thank you for being here. Have realistic goals or achievable goals and work towards them. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go to a new job, especially if you like haven't done that kind of job before, right, Avery? Takes a long time to feel totally comfortable. It sounds like good advice. Spend money. Okay, it sounds like really good advice. Spend money you don't have because you will have them in the future. Yes. We're chit-chatting. Okay, good. I'm glad you like it. I totally forgot what my point was with the imposter syndrome, but I'm glad I like tied it back kind of.
You'll find that you took a leap of faith or you didn't massively grow and you didn't grow fast.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because it's of course it's always easy to be excited and have lots of faith and confidence when things are going well. But the true test of a leader is when maybe things do slow down. Maybe.
So Megan said, Sam, that's what he does best. Oh, do you mean Megan when Sam said he's talking out of his ass? Is that what you mean? And then that's what he does best. Yeah, Elaine, I think the fact that Ray talks out of his ass. So John is going to tell us about how a test of a true leader is when things slow down. Do they still want to build their business?
Maybe you had someone quit your team that was a big leader, or you.
That's so nice. Thank you, Nomi. That's lovely. That's such a nice thing to say.
See companies make changes sometimes, or my last company got shut down by the Federal Trade Commission, just like that. Lost an income, lost a business, and I could have been like, oh, I guess I'm done. I'm going to quit. I'm going to give up. But we
I thought it was your own business, John. So why is the FTC shutting it down? I mean, you're not going to have any income.
Persevered and we kept going, and now looking back, it was a blessing in disguise. But at the time, it was like, my God, but there's so many situations like that in our life. When we look at our life in reverse, especially as we age, right, we have a little bit more wisdom and perspective. We go, oh, that's why that relationship ended, or that's why I had to deal with that situation. It sucked at the time. But looking back, you're like, oh man, if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen, and that wouldn't happen.
Right.
Be who I am today.
So if you can get
there's truth in that. I think in some situations you can find the good, you can find a lesson in some situations, but I think there are like trauma, for example, you don't always have a lesson in that because something might have happened to you that was outside of your control. And I think not everything has a lesson. Not everything has a lesson, but they're saying that to make it seem like if you are losing money in your MLM, if your relationship is under stress, then it's just a part of the process and you will learn something from it. It will help you grow and it will help you evolve. And I don't like that. I don't like that narrative. There is not always a lesson in everything. And I can't believe there's so many people here. I see the little numbers 20. That is so cool. There's so many people. Make lemonade from lemons. Yep. I am superior. That's why I have more. They help push the narrative that you shouldn't quit your MLM regardless of the circumstances. And there's sometimes you need to quit, because if you went from actually making, say, $50,000 a year in profit, and then you're magically making $5,000 a year in profit because all your team left or they changed the comp plan, that's a good reason to walk away, because you're not making any money now. You're not. That's why I just want to scream, bad things happen to good people all the time, and it's not their fault. And it's wonderful to be strongly connected to your faith, to have a strong relationship with God. But I don't like the narrative that like anything that happens to you is part of God's plan, and like God has like a lesson for you that he's trying to teach you. And I think sometimes just shitty things happen, like people get hurt or get sick, or like something scary happens, or like, yeah, like a kid that I used to babysit back in the day, like he's quite sick now. I don't talk to him. I haven't talked to the family in like 10 years, but he's quite sick now. And so why would a teenager get sick? Like that, there's not always a reason to sad and scary things happening. Imposter syndrome, you believe you are a bluff. Ignoring red flags is when tells you it's wrong, but you decide to go on. Exactly. Not everything happens for a reason. People get cancer, people lose their jobs, bad things happen. Period. Exactly. If nothing else, the lesson is, let's not do that again, or trust that person again. Okay, that's fair. For some things, yeah. Yep. Ignore facts. Don't quit. Just have faith. Yeah. You guys feel me. Quitting is for the brave people. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Better. Thank you for joining.
Faster at that, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
that is an area that I'm getting faster at, right? And so like I'm up here in Ohio, and a friend of mine, he invited me to come up here to be on his podcast, and that was really it. And it's not that he has a humongous, I love him, David, he may see this, but it's not like he has some humongous following or some like incredible thing. But I prayed on it, and I was supposed to come, so I'm like, okay. And so faith is in the hopes unseen. So I came up here immediately. He had me.
Faith is in the hopes unseen. So I'm going to read a comment from Clowntown that has trigger warning for violence and police brutality. So if you don't want to hear that, you can turn off the volume for a minute if you want. So my grandpa didn't get captured during a coup and beaten up in prison for any specific reason other than a coup. Yeah, that's horrifying. I hope he was okay. That's horrible. But yes, like that's not part of God's plan. He got captured. That's not part of God's plan, right? Like if it helps you to rationalize it, great, but don't put that on everyone else. Exactly. That is logical. Quitting or stopping is an option unless you're in an MLM. Okay, so faith is in something unseen. I don't remember what the saying was.
We went to this wonderful church service, and then we met with the leadership of that church, who he's never even met.
Oh, yeah, but it's true. Like by his standards, I'm going to go back a bit because I keep pausing, and we should just hear the whole story. Let's go back. It's so true, though. By his standards, like there was a reason that happened to your grandpa, that's in God's plan, and that he needs to take a lesson from that, right? And no, it was a time of political upheaval and violence, and that period. Like victims of violence do not need to try to find a lesson in their horrifying circumstance, right? Where was the coup? Same thing happened to my father-in-law. Wow. That's so scary. Okay, so I put it back a few seconds so we can hear the whole story, and I'm just going to let it play. I keep getting distracted. Sorry.
And it's not that he has a humongous, I love him, David, he may see this, that's I guess following or some incredible thing. But I prayed on it, and I was supposed to come, so I'm like, okay. And so, faith is in the hopes unseen. So I came up here immediately. We went to this wonderful church service, and then we met with the leadership of that church, who he's never even met before, and they're now considering simulcasting our event. You know what I mean? That could be thousands and thousands and thousands of more people. And because I came up here, but I didn't come up here for that. And then just a couple other really cool things happen. Just so happens.
But you have a big network, and so you didn't come up to wherever you were for the purpose of a church simulcasting, whatever that means, your Faith Over Fear event. But you have a big network, you know a lot of people. So if someone else came up to Ohio for whatever, it doesn't mean that something magical is just going to fall into their lap. Like if I were to go to Ohio, I don't know anyone in the US. I don't have friends in the US, right? And so like that same thing isn't going to happen to me. And in the MLM world, I think a little bit later, they're going to talk about how you need to get to their conferences in person because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know the opportunity that's going to present itself. And that's why you have to go because you don't know what's going to happen. So like he went and something lovely happened that he didn't expect. But the same thing is not going to happen in your business. I feel like I'm just talking in circles. I feel like I should let him talk.
That Mr. Mark Harbert lives in this city, right?
He's on right now too. He said he ate breakfast.
Yeah, he's on
with you.
And so my flight was delayed last night, and I'll tell you, yesterday, man, I was tired. I left the house at 3:45 a.m. I was going to get home at 1 a.m. And so I'm tired, man. And I'm like, you know what? I struggle sleeping unpleasant. So I got in here, 7 p.m. It's, supposed to leave. It gets canceled. And my immediate thought, because I've been working this muscle so much, is, oh, God must want me to get a good night's sleep. And so I slept more last night than I've probably slept in years, feeling refreshed, feeling great, feeling nice. And because of that delay, I get to have breakfast with Mark Harbert, who is, who's helping to promote our event in a totally different way. Isn't a speaker or nothing. He's helping to, promote our event, and I get to have breakfast with him, and we mastermind some different things. So the fact.
Thank you, Megan. I get nervous when I actually have a lot of people on. I love it, but I'm like, oh my God, there's so many eyes on me. And then I get nervous and I feel like I'm not making sense. But what he's saying, I think, makes sense in the grand scheme of life. So his flight was canceled, but he's like, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to go have a good sleep. And because his flight was delayed, he had time to go out for lunch with someone, right? And so that's a good attitude to have in daily life, right? Like, oh, my bus was really late, so I was late to work, but instead I was able to enjoy an Uber ride instead, and I was able to be more comfortable than I would be on the bus. And I think it's a good attitude to have when there are minor inconveniences occurring and you try to just look at what you got to do instead, right? Like you have a big delay in an airport, and instead of being upset about the big delay, maybe go to a restaurant and get a nice meal and get on the phone with your spouse and just chat with your spouse while you're eating, right? I think that's a good attitude for day-to-day life. But again, in the MLM, if things don't go as planned, say in Beachbody, you're just one point away from a lead, or you just miss out on 100 months straight of Success Club. And it's okay to feel those losses in a significant manner, because unlike me being delayed at the airport, I'm not going to lose out financially because of that delay. But if you miss a goal in your MLM, you will lose out financially. And it's okay to feel that. And it's okay to be upset and be mad. And it doesn't mean that you're not a good business owner if you feel those emotions.
Faster you can start to look at your disappointment as this is happening for a reason. God's always in control, and this is happening for a reason, and it's to perfect me. And that is biblical, right? James 1 says, count it all joy, my brethren, when you're faced with different trials, because those trials produce a steadfastness and a perseverance within you, and they perfect you. And in Hebrews 12, it says, no chastisement feels pleasant at the time, but painful, but it's producing in you a perfection. And so if we can start.
But that means that, okay, I lost money. I was making a living. Now I'm not. Well, it's just in God's plan. He's trying to teach me something. And chastisement is never going to feel good. He's just trying to teach me a lesson. So that's like, I think that's a way for us to divert our attention from the fact that the compensation plan, the business structure is making us lose money. It's not the business structure, it's the fact that God just has other plans for us. Bye, Lori. Thank you for watching. And I'm sorry if Ray frustrated you, but it was so nice to see you. Yes, my therapist has helped me in this area to see the hidden positive things in life. Yeah. And I think these kinds of narratives are so harmful because, especially one who goes to therapy, like my therapist has told me pretty much the same thing, Elaine. Like, okay, this negative thing happened to you, but so you feel like someone was rude to you at work, but like what actually happened, right? It's good to like live an examined life. That wasn't a good example, but it's good to live like an examined life and really determine like, okay, what's the reality? Like what's actually going on right now? Is my reaction on the same level as like what's actually happening? And then if you really evaluate like, hey, I'm at delayed in an airport. Okay, well, am I safe? Yep. Do I have food? Yeah, I go have food. Do I have the ability to contact my family while I'm waiting? Yep. Like if your basic needs are met, you're not in danger. It's fine in day-to-day life, right? I'm so rambly. Oh my goodness. So many good things that get twisted by MLMs. It's great to live an examined life. It's great. But when it translates to MLM, it means just ignoring the fact that you're losing money. I can tell that a lot of shit Ray has not been through because he thinks that. Oh, there's a lot of shit that Ray has not been through. Gotcha. I love how the trials reason lesson can never be that you need to realize that the MLM is bad for you. And quitting is a good thing if you're in a toxic environment. If you're not making any money, if people are being mean to you, it is a wonderful thing to leave that toxic, negative environment. It's the continuation in choosing negative consequences and saying it's God's plan. That's the problem. So, yeah, it's pushing the narrative that God wants you to be here. God wants you to be experiencing these negative things within the MLM because that's just going to help you become the person that God wants you to be. And yes, Julie Joe, maybe one of you guys can send this to her and she can talk about it in a video. That would be cool. I'd love to see her do some of like the Amway videos too because they have a lot of faith manipulation. But I feel like it's pushing the narrative that bad things are happening to you because God wants them to. And so you just have to continue to live out God's plan. What do you think?
Start to more quickly look at our disappointments, look at our emotional, anger or rage or any of that stuff as, wait a minute, God allowed that to happen. What do I need to work on so that I improve, so that I get better, so that I can step more in faith? And again, faith is in the hopes unseen. If I relied on my bank account, and if I relied on what logically made sense, I don't know, I wouldn't have grown that much. I never would have left the job. I wouldn't hire John Maxwell, right? We have John Maxwell speaking at our event as a $250,000 investment.
Wow.
And yeah, so we're running, we're doing a 12-month mentorship program together, and he's speaking for 4 hours on day 3. It's $250,000. And if I look at the logistics of that, I'm like, dang, but now all of a sudden we may have hundreds of churches that love John Maxwell that may want to tune in. I didn't know that, but I just operated in faith. And so I said, this is.
Yeah, he's directly saying to not use logic. So do things that seem unreasonable. Like he got that connection with the churches, right? And now he's spending $250,000 for 4 hours of John Maxwell's time. And like, that's an unreasonable thing to do, but he's doing it to grow his own business. And so Erica said, I love when people share tidbits they learn in therapy, like that sometimes your emotions or intensity of your emotions don't always fit the facts. Yeah, that's always like, okay, what actually happened, Heather? What was your reaction? Are the two on the same level, right? And 99.99% of the time, my reaction is not on the same level of what actually happened. And 99% of the time, my reaction is based off of how I perceive the situation, not actually what happened. Okay, what was my point? Yeah, so he's literally telling us to not use logic and to just do things even though they seem outrageous, because it's through taking those risks that we will find success and we will achieve our financial dreams. And I really don't like that. I just realized it's 2:20 a.m. here. I think I should try to get some sleep. Bye, Sam. Thank you so much for joining. It was so nice to see you. Yeah, sleep well. Everyone's saying good night to you, Sam. That's so nice. That's so nice. And good night to Igor. Religion does not belong in business. It doesn't allow you to have any boundaries. I think it belongs in business if you are like a Christian or a Catholic based or any religion based charity or nonprofit. We have some of those in my city for sure. I think it belongs there. It belongs if you work in a church. If you have like a religious based group or club at work, I think that's fine. But in your like general day-to-day functionings of a non-religious based business or company, I think it has no business in the workplace, in your average environment for sure. For sure. So $250,000 divided by 4. So let's see. 250. So $62,500 per hour for John Maxwell's time. He would also have to prepare in advance, I'm assuming, but I wonder if John would actually be the one to write his speeches or if he has assistants to do that. I wonder if that also covers John's expenses to get, I think it's to get to Florida for food, for hotel, for airfare. I wonder, or if that's just like take home for John and then they pay him on top of that to actually get him there. What do you guys think? I would love to know, but we're never going to find out.
Doesn't make sense, but I'm going to pray on it and I'm going to do it. And so,
if something doesn't make sense to you, that could be your gut just telling you not to do it, right? Like I made $5 in profit last month. This doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I should quit. But he's telling you to ignore the fact that it doesn't make sense and that you feel uncomfortable and to just do it anyways.
So faith is the real secret to fast growth. Is for you to stop relying just on your senses, just on your eyeballs, just on what logically makes sense, and move in a direction of, hey, John.
I need to put eye drops in my eyeballs because they're hurting. So I'm going to take myself off the camera so I can do that. I'll be back soon.
He's done this before. I'm going to take his testimony and I'm going to go do what he says. Even though you don't have the results just yet, I'm going to go do what John says. Praying on things. And even though this doesn't make sense, I'm going to go to Ohio. I'm going to go over here. And so I'm telling you, anyone in here that's had any kind of big growth, just look back at your life. It was a leap of faith. I guarantee you. I remember our first event, our first major event 10 years ago. It was Top Earner Academy, 2013. And it was August. What's it? Yeah, it was in August. So, 10 years ago, literally, today. And this guy, David, him and his wife, David and Kate, they join. This is so funny because now I'm realizing I know other Davids and Kates. But anyway, so he joins our mastermind, which back then was $50,000. We had a diamond package. And he joins it like on Saturday. And he's like, I got to be honest, Ray, like, I'm not flush with money right now, but you know what? I'm going to do this. I know it's going to be good for me. The next day, he gets notified that this real estate property he's been trying to sell for years, it gets a contract on it, and his profit is going to be $53,000.
So like Erica said, translation, critical thinking equals bad. So this person wanted to join and raise a $50,000 mastermind and wasn't really like flush with cash. But then like shortly after he joined the extremely overpriced mastermind, his like building his real estate closed and he made $53,000 in profit. So he was able to pay for the mastermind. So Ray would probably told the guy, like, be unreasonable. Don't think of what doesn't make sense. Just have faith. Just take a leap of faith, pay for it, and then God will provide. So he's saying this man paid for his mastermind and then God provided in the form of his real estate house closing and him making the sale. Like Melissa said, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence, Raymond. Oh, hi, Julie. Thank you so much for joining. It's so nice to see you. Oh, still here lurking. Have my mom and sister in Facebook chat. How cool. Nice.
You can't make that stuff up. But I've seen it over and over where it doesn't make any sense, time wise, money wise, or whatever. But all of a sudden you're provided for. All of a sudden something lands. And for me, I now know that's God moving in my life, and He's been perfecting me all these years. But regardless, even before I knew that, making the leaps that were uncomfortable, that is your secret to fast growth.
And it's like, John, that
in MLM context, that means, okay, it doesn't make sense. They don't have money, but I'm just going to join, and then magically God's going to provide for me. God's going to make it so people join my downline and stay in my downline, and I'm going to make sales, and I'm magically just going to find success. That's what it translates to.
Maxwell says, you either win or you learn. There is no losing, right? But maybe you could talk about.
There is losing. How is you losing money every single month just like a learning experience? Because you can't feed your children, you can't pay your bills from a learning experience. So like anyone who doesn't make a reasonable profit that they can use to provide for themselves and their kids in an MLM, they are losing, Jonathan. They are losing. Yes. Great point. Great point. Due to this logic, a job will drop on me, right? All you have to do is just believe. Just believe in yourself and a job will appear. It's not like unemployment is really high in some places. It's not like the economy is tanking all over the world. It's just you got to believe. No, thank you.
At your event, because you have like the most insane lineup
for
your event in September next month. And by the way, for those of you that are registered, you're planning on going, drop into the comments. Let us know if you're excited about this event. And if you need a ticket, you can go to mylifestyleacademy.com/faith. That is all the details. But with that being said, can you talk about it? Because I saw the lineup of speakers. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like some of the most amazing leaders on the planet in this profession, all in one event. It's crazy. So we'd love for you to talk a little bit about the event.
Yeah. And there's an underlying theme that isn't actually on the page, but kind of my internal people know. And that is getting over your past, stepping into your present, and developing out your future.
So if you have something in your past that is hurting your day-to-day functioning, you will not be able to move past that just because you go to Ray Higdon's event. I think, like, through my experience, like, you can move past something by like talking it out, doing different forms of therapy, like EMDR. Has anyone done that? And like understanding how your past can impact how you act and how you like perceive the world and react to stressors. And then once you figure that out, like developing good coping mechanisms that work for you. So understanding your triggers and then developing coping mechanisms. And I think that's how one can not get over your past, because I don't know if, depending on like what happened in your past, you may never get over it, but just like living and functioning and living with your past, not necessarily getting over it. And why do we need to get over our past in order to find success? In the MLM world, we have to do that because our trauma from our past is what's blocking our financial well-being in an MLM, because from our past, we believe that we are not worthy of financial success. So just like Ray says, just like the Beach Boss influencers say, we are building a literal wall around ourselves where we're not allowing money to penetrate. So if we get over our past, not address it and learn coping mechanisms and understand our triggers. No, if we get over our past, then money will just flow. Money will flow. I hate it. Yes, you should believe in yourself when you're trying to find a job, but yes, it's brutal. It's brutal. You're right. And you could apply to 100 jobs a week, believe in yourself, write brilliant cover letters and brilliant CVs. But it's like you could have 200 other people who are just as qualified as you, who are just as strong writers as you are, and have a brilliant cover letter. If the hiring manager doesn't see you, doesn't like notice your resume, you're not going to get a call back. Yes, the high profit mumble. Julie Anderson has talked about that in her videos for sure. Yes, I prefer logic. Yes, Elaine, same here. Sounds like bullshit to me, Ray. Same, Megan, same.
And And there's a lot of speakers that you probably don't know that are amazing. You know, like we have one guy out of Columbus, Ohio, Pastor Baker. He did a 18-part series on finances, and over 25% of his congregation became debt-free.
Wow.
Now, I don't know any network marketing leader where 25% of their team is debt-free, but I know a pastor who 25% of his congregation is. And so
Why don't people have 25% of their MLM teams be debt-free? Maybe because the MLM is contributing to their debt. That should be a red flag. And I feel like you said the quiet part out loud, sir.
he's speaking. He's someone I've learned a lot from. We have, you know, a lot of the rock stars that you guys know. You know, we have Justin Prince, the one, right? Be the one. We have Bryn Lang, and I asked Bryn because she's so good at helping women with mom guilt. Like, I'm like, you gotta speak. We gotta have you. And so we got her speaking about mom guilt. We got my friends Richard and Mary. They specifically speak in a way I've never heard anyone talk.
Why is a woman talking about mom guilt? Like, are you helping mothers overcome mom guilt? Because MLMs really like thrive on mom guilt, because you guilt moms into joining an MLM because, oh, well, you don't want to put your kids in daycare. Don't you want to be a present parent? Don't you want to be home with your kids? And then once you're home with your kids, right? Or when you're like on the weekend or in the evenings trying to work your business and magically your upline tells you you have to work all the time, and you're like, hey, I'm not spending any time with my kids, you're going to be told you need to be a serious business owner and focus on your work. And then you're going to feel mom guilt all over again because you did this MLM to be a more present mother. And then because of the MLM, you're no longer spending as much time with your kids as you did in the past. So I don't like that. I don't like that because mom guilt is like perpetuated by MLMs. Who thinks their ticket sales for this event are not what they anticipated? Maybe. Mom guilt and pet guilt are the worst for sure. I'm not a mother. I wouldn't know, but I could understand that for sure. In my opinion, those John Maxwell speeches and masterminds are toxic positivity. Interesting, and better. I've never done a John Maxwell reaction before. I've been thinking about it. So maybe if I have time, I will maybe next week at work, I can just find a playlist and just play through some of his videos and see if there are any reaction worthy ones.
Talk about. And it's funny because I did an interview with him, and I was like, that was amazing. And they're like, really? Was it? Like, it was amazing. They showed exactly how to use your kids in with your business, how to grow your business and feel good about it. So much so that your kids actually cheer for you. Your kids are involved, and they broke down steps I've never heard anyone else ever share. And wow. I mean, they're the.
Why do we need training to get our kids to cheer for us in our MLM business? Because when with my parents' profession, they did not need training to get their kids on their side and support them. So again, that should also be a red flag. Why would my future children be involved in my MLM business at all? Why do I have any training at all related to my MLM any training in my MLM business related to my children? That should not be in the same sentence. When I heard use your kids, I thought they meant use your kids as a marketing ploy to sell your products and your opportunity. And then he said get them involved, get them happy about your business and supportive, right? And so I think he means just get them on your side. But I definitely thought use your kids as a marketing ploy. And again, let's compare the active listening styles of John and Ray. Ray just said, and then look at John. He's just smiling nicely and listening and nodding, and you can tell he's really focused on what Ray is saying, and he's being really, really respectful and really professional. Ray should learn some lessons from John.
Number one earners in their company. We got the Hurricane Stormy Wellington is going to be speaking there.
Bye, Marie. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciated you being here. I hope you have a nice evening.
So we got a lot of I would say super, super popular rock stars that a lot of people know. And then we got some unknowns. We got some people that y'all don't know. My buddy Tyler Watson, he does something that, in my opinion, is the missing link between guys like Tony Robbins and guys like even Joe Dispenza. He's got this missing link, and it's around allergies and addictions, in that if you do the work, right, and you just work your face off, but if you're allergic to a profitable situation and you're addicted to a negative situation, you can do 100 times the work and you're only going to move the needle 1%.
This is another like unquantifiable way to blame the individual for their lack of financial success. So say we did what he told us to do. We took a leap of faith and we joined this MLM business, even though we think it's unreasonable, even though it doesn't make logical sense. But then, oh my God, what was I going to say? But then he's going to tell us, oh, well, you're just allergic to success. You're just allergic to success. You're not ready to make a lot of money. So it's your fault that you're not getting anywhere in your business because you're addicted to failure. It's your fault. And I've referenced this a lot of times doing Ray videos. I think at least a year ago, maybe like a year and like 3 months ago, I did a video where Ray made fun of individuals who experience challenges with drug addiction to make his point that we're all just addicted to training. And it was really disgusting and really, really terrible. And so I don't like hearing him say we're addicted to negative results. And it's just another way of victim blaming, right? Like it's your fault because you're just addicted to feeling bad. You're just addicted to complaining and wanting something else in your life. So it's always a deficiency with us. I really don't like it. At the Optavia conference, they made kids get up on the stage and talk about how great it was that their parents were helping so many people by being Optavia reps. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Clowntown, what? Oh my God, not Joe Dispenza, right? Same. Oh, do you mean the Optavia conference or what Ray says? Both of them, horrible and disgusting. Oh no. If you're getting upset, you don't need to keep watching. But we're almost done. We're only going to do in like 2 more minutes because I don't want to do 37 minutes of a video in one stream. I'll be here for like 10 hours. But we're almost done. But if you need to bow out, feel free to. The Clowntown Optavia never fails to disappoint us, giving consistency, right? Oh, what a nasty little man. The pause. Oh yeah, it's a good pause story, right?
When you identify and actually get rid of them, he has physical things that you can do to get rid of them. All of a sudden, stuff starts becoming easy.
You're right, because there are those people, and they brag about all the messages they send out and all the work they're doing, and you're like, you don't want to be a jerk, but you're like, yeah, but at the end of the day, and of course, it's all about marry the process, divorce the result, focus on the activities and the
marry the process, divorce the result. So we're supposed to be addicted to the process of reaching out to people, creating a prospect list, growing our platform, keeping track of responses, talking to people, but we're not supposed to be connected to the result of that. And so say we spend 5 hours in one day doing all the stuff that our upline tells us to do, as long as we're doing it properly and we're doing it in the right mindset, it doesn't matter if nothing came from it. Doesn't matter. And that is, unfortunately, that is a basic sales tactic, sales mindset, where just your identity as a good salesperson should be separate from the results of your prospecting conversation. But in the MLM context, again, it's just a way to divert the attention from the MLM business model, right? Like, hey, John, I'm not making any money. Oh, well, are you doing the system that I gave you? Yeah, I am, John. Okay, then don't worry about it. Success will come at some point. But it's like, it should be, oh, okay, well, let's figure it out. Let's sit down and see what you're doing and see if we can add anything into your routine.
The success will come, but not always.
Yeah.
Not always. Because there's something missing. There's something missing. And I think that's definitely something that a lot of people need to hear, because it's not just one thing either. It depends on the person. But it sounds like this guy can help people tie that together, because you can do all the praying, meditating, prospecting, personal development, all the things. and it still doesn't work. What's that missing piece? And I think that would be a powerful conversation for sure. And actually, to be honest, I think about all the times in my early days in network marketing where
the missing piece, we're not going to the events, and we're addicted to negative outcomes, and we are not taking a blind leap of faith and doing something, even though it doesn't make sense, even though the numbers are telling us not to do it, even though we're seeing research telling us that our industry is a scam. That's the missing piece, not just ignoring everything that's around us and just doing it, even though maybe you know that it's wrong for you.
I got such bad comparitis, comparing myself to other people. And I'm like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Like, I must be doing it wrong. I'm not cut out for this. There must be something wrong with me. Anybody else ever thought those thoughts or even said that? It's even worse when you say it out loud, right? Life and death is in the tongue. But, it's
life and death is in the tongue. Hasn't Bill Britt said shit like that before? Because one of his Clowntown, if you're still here, one of his 9 core steps, 9 core powers, the power of spoken word. So if you say anything negative, then it's going to come to life. I didn't even make this connection. And he's just saying like don't say anything negative out loud, or else like you're going to kill your business because you said something bad, right? And Bill Britt, circa like 1990 or something, said the exact same thing. Isn't that so interesting? I love hearing how like what these people say nowadays comes at least indirectly from like Bill and Dexter and Rich. It's fascinating. Hi, Rachel. How's it going? Why am I tense? My chest is like, oh, I'm getting annoyed. We're almost done though, like 30 seconds left maybe. Oh, I survived from a Bible verse. Okay. I love how, again, the missing piece can't be that the MLM is bad and you should quit. Yes, it's not that you're in a toxic ass environment. It's that all the shit I already said, you're not taking blind leaps of faith often enough. Yeah, the industry has been the same forever, Clowntown. Exactly.
It's interesting how, going to events and surrounding yourself and like putting yourself in that environment, not virtually, not watching on the phone, that it's not the same. Being in the room, how like those little breakthroughs, those side conversations. Yeah. That's when the magic happens. At least that's been our experience for not just us, but for thousands and thousands of other people that we know over the last 20 years. And it really is so much more than just making money.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I want to stop. I think that's a good spot. And so I think he's insinuating that part of the missing link is that we're not going to the events, because Bill said this too. They all say this, that you in Amway, you should be traveling around the state to follow around your diamond or your crown ambassador upline, because one thing that they say at one event somewhere could be the breakthrough that will completely change your life forever. And so that's another thing that John indirectly got from Bill and Dex. Isn't this fascinating? I love this. So cool. Yes, hung by the tongue. Yes. Britt said that many times. It's based on a Bible verse and is the basis for a very often Amway recommended book, Hung by the Tongue. I read this as a little girl. I remember wondering what that was, and I researched it, and I saw that it was a book, and I didn't understand, but then someone explained it to me, and just very interesting. Like Clamtown just said a few minutes ago, this industry has always been the same, and I feel like maybe our friends in Amway kind of started the narratives, and then it got translated and recycled. And I feel like, in my opinion, in my brain, MLM coaching likely came, at least indirectly, from the Amway tool scam circa like the 60s and the 70s, right? Wait, when did the Amway tool scam start? 70s? PH Actress, was it the 70s? I don't remember. I have flashbacks involving that book. It strips people of empathy. Oh, Oh, so was it recommended by uplines in Amway? So interesting. So that's all I have for today. So we got to 9 minutes and 17 seconds, and we will start from there on Sunday, and we'll do the last 18 minutes of this video. And I was really happy with all the people who are still here. This is awesome. And oh, Lisa, you thought it was good? Thank you. It's so nice. Yeah, I like Ray videos. I think they're always very interesting. Okay, 60s. I thought so too, but I'm like, that's kind of a long time ago. Like, in my brain, it's like, it can't be that old, but it is that old. You're welcome, Dawn Daisy. You're welcome. So, thank you to all the people who visited me and all the people who are still in my chat now. I really appreciate the support. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you at the same time on Sunday. And we started in 1959. Yeah. Thank you. I did know that. Thank you for reminding me. Bye, everybody. Bye.